You know, feel free to ask further questions. At this time, I'm not in a place to give you additional information beyond that. Claire. Sorry, Barry, taking a question from Claire. My understanding at this stage is that they weren't on watch lists. Again, I don't want to go too much beyond this, it is early days. You'll also understand I won't want to jeopardise the case that may be taken in the future as well. I do also want to acknowledge that I have been contacted by Prime Minister Scott Morrison. I intend to speak with him directly as soon as I'm able. Sorry, coming in the front. Not at this stage. Certainly the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the Prime Minister of Australia have contacted the Deputy Prime Minister and myself.
Hi, Lo.
Not at this stage. I will have been amongst other members of the public who will have seen the footage as the injured were being brought to Christchurch A&E, and you certainly can see from that footage there is a real range of ages there. I imagine that these would have represented particular brothers, fathers, sons. I haven't had a breakdown at this stage, sorry, it's not information I can share. Sorry.
No, of course it shouldn't. No. We don't know. Nobody knows anything. Jacinda's being questioned by the press.
Again, these are obviously questions that at this point I'm unable to give additional details on. Obviously, though, that offender is in custody now, so I can give that assurance he has been apprehended. He is also accompanied by two other associates. He is being actively questioned, obviously. These may be additional questions that you could put to the Commissioner of Police.
Particularly in Christchurch.
Obviously. Absolutely. Again, as I say, I've given you the advice they've given me about watch lists, but obviously these are absolutely questions that we'll be asking, including access to firearms.
Have actually perpetrated this crime. Laurie, this is getting too close. This is making us too close to the rest of.
At this stage, I'm certainly asking people to continue to follow the advice of the police. Yes, we have apprehended, there have been 3 individuals apprehended. However, the police aren't taking for granted that there may well be others that that may need to be brought into custody. They've got no reason to expect that, but they haven't ruled it out. So please, in the meantime, continue to listen to police advice. But I also want to give assurance to people. The police are obviously incredibly active on the ground. They are bringing in additional police officers. The Defence Force are bringing them down. So just listen to the advice that's available to you. But we are ensuring the security of those who are moving around in Christchurch at this time.
Then there's going to be another 12 behind them.
One principal had 2 associates.
Yes.
Oh my God.
They're not connected. They're not directly connected to the attack.
So all mosques are
Sorry.
on, lockdown.
That is my understanding, yes.
Basically, Muslims can't go and pray.
In connection to the attacks today, or the individual that wasn't. That would be a question for Commissioner Bush. I'm not sure if that's something I'm able to share, but they're not anyone who is a threat to the public. Certainly that is the assumption that I would make at this stage. We've seen from one of the offenders that they have publicised their ideology. I have no reason to assume anything other than that those others who have been arrested would subscribe to the same ideology, which I can only describe as extreme. I'm not in a position to give away additional details on their citizenship at this stage, Barry.
The terror of that. Said, why Christchurch?
You know, at this point, I think that's an opportunity to really acknowledge the work that the police are doing. You know, the apprehending of a suspect in an extremely volatile situation, really putting themselves at risk on our behalves, and I want to acknowledge that. Particularly also disarming the explosives that were, as I understand, attached to the suspects' cars. There were 2 of them. They have been disarmed now. But obviously that was a high-risk situation, gives us an indication that there was a degree of planning around what has happened today. I cannot speculate around what the intention was, but again, it was attached to the suspects' vehicles. Not at this stage. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
Look, my
Hate
my
things, but they are
message would
different.
be, we should not be perpetuating, sharing,
But the
giving
wind in your
any
hair and the
oxygen
spray in your face.
to this act of violence and the message that's sat behind it. We should all be condemning, obviously, what has happened here today in the peaceful nation of New Zealand. And what all of us can at least do is ensure that we do not share, spread, or actively engage in that message of hate. We have been given assurance that online, at least those platforms where some of those images have been shared are actively being removed. But I just ask people, don't share them.
How's your horrible man been?
Yes. This is not who
How's
we
the
are.
horrible man
This
been?
act was not a reflection of who we are as a nation.
Oh my God.
That is why so many New Zealanders, every New Zealander I imagine, will be shocked by
Really?
this today, because this isn't who we are. This is something that we, all of
Should hear
us,
what
will
this is
utterly
saying.
reject. And of course, it will take time to heal.
This
And
is
tonight
press
our
conference
thoughts
now.
and our prayers need to be with those affected. But I'm sure,
Yeah.
of course,
Well,
that all
she's
of
been
us
on for probably the last 10
want
months.
to retain the identity we
But
have as a nation,
she's good.
because that's why
She's
those
good.
who live here live here.
She's still going.
Of course, our